So hey guys, UFC 245 just ended, and we're gonna break down the Max Holloway versus Alexander Volkanovski.
Because there's a new heavyweight king.
Heavyweight? Featherweight king.
He used to be a heavyweight. He was on rugby teams. Rogan said he weighed 800 pounds.
So this fight was mostly about Volkanovski and his camp was able to effectively game plan for Max Holloway rather than Max Holloway effectively game planning for Volkanovski. Volkanovski, I think this is the first time he's really even shown this look about him.
Yeah, he was a lot more fluid this fight. In the Mendez fight, he was much more herky-jerky. This fight, you saw him even doing like pivot feints and very fluid with his movement. Everyone should pray to City Kickboxing who wants to be a game plan-based fighter, because they're like the gods of game planning right now.
So one thing that you'll notice about Max Holloway, and even if you look up his reach is super short for somebody who's basically 6 foot.
He has a 69-inch reach.
Yeah. So basically, he's like me. He's a tall guy with with short arms. So
Volk's a short guy with long arms.
So so basically, Max Holloway, as everybody knows, is a snowball fighter. He's a volume fighter, and he needs to effectively win the first round with a bunch of jabs and a bunch of combinations. So what he likes to do is have the forward momentum. If Max Holloway does not have the forward momentum, just like in the Dustin Poirier fight and just like the Conor McGregor fight and the other Dustin fight, he's not going to win the fight. And so what Max Holloway does is rely on his chin, and he also has that forward momentum.
He puts all his weight on his front leg.
Yeah, which leaves him exposed to
leg kicks! Yay!
So he's not able to effectively bring up his leg to check that chin. Damn, that hurt.
Did it really?
I was joking. All right, so at this point, Volkanovski is basically free to leg kick, and there's a lot of other fighters that actually have put their leg out further, like Conor McGregor,
Nate
Diaz, but they have long enough reach,
freakishly long reach. Their ape index is off the chain.
but they have long enough reach to be able to hit the opponent without them being able to kick them back.
So if Max had longer reach when Volk was in kicking range, boom. But
would have stopped the kick.
Volk stood right outside Max's punching range, so Max, if you tried to punch him, nothing. But he could still kick him.
Yeah.
And the difference was actually more exaggerated than our physiques are showing right now.
Even though I have short arms.
Somehow, Volk has like no torso. He's all legs and all arms.
Yeah.
So this fight was basically Volk trying to either time Max when he stepped in and kick him, which really damn hurts, or he just picked at him from range where Max couldn't punch him.
And he can't move his, maybe he can check by doing this, but that's not a super effective check.
Yeah.
So basically on the round, like a round and a half in a round and a half into the fight, you see Max Holloway switching stances.
But he still puts all of his weight on his front leg, and Volk continues the strategy of just picking it apart from outside range. However, Max starts to change his game plan a little bit.
So
From southpaw, right?
So mid fight, I would say probably like around 4th round, he actually notices that Volkanovski is susceptible to body hits. So he started jabbing to his belly, and he got a reaction out of Volkanovski.
Volk would bend and start backing up. Even in the first round, Max was able to hit Volkanovski, which is I think a normal right to the body, and Volk would visibly showboat it, as if to say it didn't hurt him, but the fact that he even reacted to the strike shows that it was significant enough to warrant his attention.
Yeah.
Whenever you see fighters either rub their belly when they get a body shot or just shake their head showboating type of thing, 80% of the time they're only doing that because it did affect them.
Right.
And it's either like a mental thing for them to be like, no, F you, like I'm good, you can't hurt me, even though it did. Or they're trying to stop the other fighter from actually investing in those body shots.
And we know that not that Max Holloway has pillows for hands or anything like that, but we know that he's not really capable of knocking out people in one shot, but he was able to affect Volkanovski with his body hits. So what we learned from this fight is that Max Holloway is super susceptible to leg kicks, and Volkanovski is super susceptible to getting hit in the belly. So another thing that Max Holloway did from the southpaw position is that he started to stomp on Volkanovski's lead leg. which also backed him up. And then once he stopped, he was in range for a left shot to Volkanovski's liver or belly.
Volk would bend over and start backing up. Max would be able to follow up. It was really interesting though, because Max was like full on leaping to close the range. It almost looked like a savate kick, that weird like French martial art with the shoes. He was legitimately like kicking in, stepping, and coming into range that way.
Yeah.
So he actually did have more success from southpaw. Unfortunately, he just didn't notice that Volk was so susceptible to body shots until like round 4.
Yeah.
If he had started that strategy in round 1 or 2, well, I mean, how would he have known, right?
Yeah.
But I think that he would have actually been able to get Volkanovski out of there, because I have seen very few fighters as vulnerable to body shots as Volkanovski is for some reason.
So it's going to be very interesting with their rematch, if they do have a rematch, to see what game plan Max Holloway implements and what game plan Volkanovski implements.
Yeah, because it was interesting. You could tell like part of the game plan from Volk relied on the fact that he didn't respect Max's power. Like when Max would step in to punch, Volk literally just, when it was on his head, he would literally just still step in and kick. Like he took shots to the dome to land his kicks. He didn't respect Max's power at all, except when it went to the body. So if Max, instead of targeting the head, starts targeting the body, I don't think Volk would still be as willing to step forward when Max is stepping forward and trade those hard leg kicks that do a ton of damage.
So yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see the rematch.
Volk won the fight. I think a rematch would be interesting, but I hate already immediate rematches. So Max, fight somebody else first.
So we'll see what happens.